Today we are doing math pages 137 and 138. Matthew 28:6 says, "He is not here, for he is risen, as he said." So today we're looking at least common multiples. Our fact at the top says a multiple of a number is the product of the number multiplied by a whole number. That sounds confusing, but what we're saying here is multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, then it'd be 30, 33, and so on. And so on. So the multiple of a number is the number it would be when multiplied by other numbers. And showing the example is best of saying multiples of 3 would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, and so on. Those are all multiples of 3. And it goes on and on and on. And that's why you see here it says the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21, 24. And then it says ... which means it continues. It doesn't stop at 24, but it continues on. If we had the number 2, well, multiples of 2 would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I could say ... because it continues on. We look down here, they have some examples. They have 2. Multiples of 2 being 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And then they do the ... because that means, well, it still continues. There's more multiples of it. But if they continue to show all the multiples, they'd run out of room off this page. So multiples of 4 then are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And then they do ... meaning it goes on, but they're going to stop there. Multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, ... meaning that it continues on. Now, out of these three numbers, 2, 4, and 6, what they've showed us is our common multiples. These are numbers that we're finding in all 2, 4, 6, in all of their multiples. As we see in 2, they've got a 12. As we see in 4, they have a 12. As we see in 6, they have a 12. They also have a 24 in all of them, though 2 doesn't show it. Eventually it would be a 24 over here as well. And then a new phrase that we're learning right now, your LCM will be your least common multiple. And this will be similar as we always talk about our GCF, greatest common factor. Well, your LCM will be used a lot. Your least common multiple will be used a lot. So we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll look at class practice number 1. 1A, it says list the first 5 multiples of each number. And they have blanks for it. So first, of course, is 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 25. That would be the first 5 multiples. For B, they have the number 3. Well, 3 first, 6, 9, 12, 15. For C, we'd have the multiples for 7. The first one would be 7, then 14, 21, 28, and 35. D, our multiples for 6 would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. E, our multiples for 4 would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. F are multiples for 10. I like F. That one's easy. It'd be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, for number 2, it's asking us to complete this chart. Part of it has been done already for us. They show the number 9, and then they show multiples of 9, and they go up to 72 here, and then they do dot, dot, dot. Then they show the number 10, the number 12, with multiples of 12, and they stop at 96 and do the dot, dot, dot. Then they mark down common multiples. They found a 36 here, a 36 here, and they had a 72 here and here. And so then they wrote down a least common multiple, the smallest one of the two. Smallest one of the two was 36, and they wrote it there. So now the next one, they completed part of it. First, let's look at 3. They started putting down the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. And we need to put 15, 18, 21, 24. Okay, then they started doing for 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 30. They put down as 12 as a common multiple. We have a 12 here and a 12 here, so that's a common multiple. Now they have a blank for us to fill out another common multiple, and it looks like we've got 24 as a second one that we need to write down. And our LCM, that is our least common multiple, is going to be 12, because out of our common multiples, 12 is the smallest one. So we need to, well, they've written it for us there. We need to recognize that that is the LCM. Okay, the next one, looks like they've almost left everything up to us. They did the first one for us, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. And then they have the dot, dot, dot saying it goes on, 45, 50, 55, but we're going to stop there. And then we're looking at 8. They've done 8 for us. Now what's the second multiple of 8? It'd be 16, then 24, then 32, then 40, and then 48. Dot, dot, dot. Okay, our common multiples that are shared in both, it looks like the only one we see here is 40. And so for common multiples, and I'm sure if you, as you continued on, you'd find another common multiple, and it'd actually end up being 80. But we're just going to write 40, dot, dot, dot. And our least common multiple obviously is 40. Okay, let's do our multiples for 7. Start with 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and then 70. All right. Now let's look at 10. 10's easy. You always know that it's multiple 10 when it ends in a 0. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, our common multiples here, the lowest one we have, the only one we have here is 70. I'm going to put dot, 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 because there's going to be other common ones, but we only have 70 here. And so again, our LCM is going to be the same. It's going to be 70. Our last lesson that we did equivalent fractions. And when we look at number 3, we're going to be doing some equivalent fractions again. 4 times what will equal 8? Well, 4 times 2. And so we need to do, since this is times 2, we need to do times 2 up here as well. 3 times 2 is 6. And our answer is 6 over 8. 9 times what? That's supposed to be a question mark. 9 times what equals 18? Well, 9 times 2 equals 18. If we do a times 2 there, we need to do a times 2 up here. And 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times what equals 28? 7 times 4 equals 28. So if we do a times 4 there, we need to do a times 4 here. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times what is 32? It's going to be 8 times 4. If we do a times 4 there, we need to do a times 4 here. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times what is 40? 5 times 8 is 40. If we do times 8 there, we need to do times 8 on top. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times what is 12? 3 times 4 is 12. If we do times 4 there, we need to do times 4 on top as well. And we get 4. So those are pretty easy. Hopefully you understand those, and as you see them in the future, you'll know what to do. One thing I want to cover, though, is it's going to get confusing because we've learned about factors, and then today we're learning about multiples. And as time goes by, it seems like every year we get kind of confused with that, different classes. Now remember, factors are the numbers that go into it. What goes into 4? Well, 1 does, 2 does, and 4 does. Don't confuse this with the multiples. So here, B, 10, well, 1 goes into 10, 2 goes into 10, 5 goes into 10, and 10 goes into 10. I'll have you do those green ones on your own. I'll do D here, 30. All the numbers. Remember, put them in numerical order. It starts with 1, then 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. And for F, all the numbers that go into 50 would be 1, 2, 5, 10, 25, and 50. So the factors are the numbers that go into your designated number. The multiples are the numbers that come out of your designated number. So if we had the number 4, and I asked you for the factors of 4, you'd tell me, well, 1 goes into 4, 2 goes into 4, and 4 goes into 4. Those would be your factors of 4. Well, if I were to ask you for the number 4, the multiples of 4, you'd tell me, okay, 4 is a multiple of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, ... because it goes on. Your multiples will continue to go on forever. So here's that example of 12 again here. Instead of 4, we're looking at 12. Your factors for 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The numbers that go into 12 are your factors. And your multiples are 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. Well, they stopped at 60, and you got your ... and that'd be so on. Here's another example, a bigger one here. Factors of 6. I have them out of order here, but it would be 1, 2, 3, and 6. Those are the numbers that go into 6. Now the numbers that come out of 6 will be your multiples. 6, and 12, and 48, and 24, and 30, and 36, and 42, and 48, and ... saying this continues on forever. Here's for the number 12. Your multiples here are going this way. 24, 36, 48, 60, 12. Now factors are the numbers that go into 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, and 12. It asks how many factors does 12 have? How many are there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So that'd be there's 3 factors. And how many multiples does 12 have? Well, that's kind of a tricky question. Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But ... says it goes on forever. So this you couldn't really give an answer to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and have you do the rest on your own. And just to help you out so that you can do the rest on your own, I want you to know if you're ever lost in the woods, if you're ever lost somewhere, and you're starving, you don't have any food, and this might kind of gross you out. But you still need nourishment for your body. You can die of hunger. So you've got to find food. But if you can't find any food, you can start by chewing on your shoes. See, a lot of times shoes have a leather part on them. And if you chew on the leather part, there's nutritional value in that. And it can help you to live a little longer if you're dying of hunger. If you're starving, it can help you for a short time if you start chewing on the leather in your shoes. Especially on this shoe, that's the bottom part, the leather I'm pointing out. This might be leather too, I don't know, but shoes seems like a pretty gross thing to chew on, but if you need it to survive, I'm guessing you will. Because you guys are smart, and I believe in you.